Alright, Shalom. First of all, I want to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to our brothers who are fervently preaching the word in sincerity and in faith. And Shalom to all the sincere Akwath, which are the sincere sisters. And to the scattered Israelites who are amongst these heathen nations and look like these heathens. Now, this is going to be a quick lesson just based on enduring and being patient, because we are living in the last days, and the further we get into these last days, the more difficult things are going to be. Those of us of the hopeful elect, we have to keep our hand on that plow, and we got to stay prayed up, and we got to continue to endure and just stay focused on finishing this course, and Adawan Ratazah, enduring unto the end and being saved. So through the Spirit, I'm going to get a few precepts, and, Lord's will, you're edified. Galatians 6 and 8. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And that's right, because this flesh is nothing but wicked, Like the things that your flesh craves is wickedness. But the things that your spirit crave is righteousness. So when you, follow the Spirit more instead of the flesh, you're going to have, a better life. Verse 9, it says, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. And that's right, we got to keep, pushing the word in truth and sincerity. We got to continue to pray and watch and be circumspect and read the scriptures, and continue to be brotherly and sisterly towards one another. And that's why it says, let us not be weary in well-doing. It's like, let's not be slack in well-doing. We got to keep doing that fervently and diligently day in and day out. It says, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. And we're going to reap life everlasting, if we faint not, if we endure unto the end. And that's the mindset that we're supposed to have. The mindset of enduring unto the end, no matter what happens in our life. Just focus on continuing to serve the Lord fervently and diligently. Because you have to understand that the Lord is the one who controls all the things that happen in your life, whether they be good or bad. And when the Lord sends bad things into your life, he's testing you to see if you're going to fold, if you're going to turn your back on him, or if you're going to acknowledge that this is a test, and you're going to send up prayers and ask him to give you strength, and you're going to acknowledge that he's testing you, and you're going to pray that he, just guides you through whatever the test is, and he brings you through the other side a lot stronger than you were before. That's what the Lord wants. He wants faithful, servants. He wants, warriors. He doesn't want, anybody who's just gonna, run back into the world the second things get difficult. Matthew 24 and 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. And that's the goal, to endure unto the end. No matter what happens in your life, that's the mindset that you should have, enduring unto the end. Now, some situations are going to be more difficult to deal with than others. But once again, that's just the Lord testing you. And we all know that the scriptures tell us that the Lord will not give us more than we can handle. He won't put more than on us than what we can bear. So as bad as things may be in your life, the Lord knows you can handle it. That's why he's doing it. But you have to have that faith that the Lord has given you the strength to handle it. You can't be out here doubting the Lord. Because then the Lord, he's not going to help you if you doubt that he can. You have to have that faith that the Lord, he can do anything. And you might be going through something, And it might be going on for a couple of days, a week, even a month. But you got to have that faith that, hey, the Lord, he's getting me through it. But he's getting me through it at his own pace, He's putting me through this to see, to test me, to see, how much I'm willing to endure. So we always have to have that mindset. I have the definition of endure here. It says endure means to suffer patiently, hold out against hardships, or continue to exist over time. It implies standing firm and maintaining resilience without yielding to difficult conditions. And that's right, when the Lord starts to apply that pressure, you don't break, you don't fold. You acknowledge that he's testing you. And you just say to yourself, all right, Lord, whatever you're gonna do, I just pray that you give me the strength to get through it. And then you just keep moving. You take it 1 foot at a time, 1 step at a time, 1 day at a time. And you move with that faith that the Lord is going to get you through it, no matter how long it takes and no matter how difficult it gets. Because for me, today's been one of those days for me where it's like, things just haven't really been going my way. And I said it. I was like, I said to myself, I was like, I know that today is going to be one of them days where the Lord is he's going to test me because, things just started off, just very irritating, But I know that I'm being tested. And so through the Spirit of the Lord, I'm still going to do these lessons. I'm still do what I got to do throughout the day, all through the strength of the Lord. Because I understand that these struggles are just conditions of the battle. This is what we have to go through while we're here in this wicked system, while we're in this flesh. This is just how it is. But I know that, this is the way the Lord set it up. And this is the balance. So for all you sincere brothers and sisters, that's the point of this lesson, is to, encourage you. Just keep enduring no matter what happens. Send up those prayers. Ask the Lord for more strength and more guidance. He'll get you through it. He knows what he's doing. So, keep your head up, continue to endure, stay prayed up, and remain faithful. Continue to read the scriptures, continue to watch and be circumspect. Because the goal is to endure unto the end and be saved. Make it to that light that's at the end of the tunnel. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Until next time, Shalom.